Okay, we're now live on YouTube.
Thank you, Lily. Colleagues will start in the next 2 minutes. We're just waiting for others to come through. Thank you.
Okay, we're now live on YouTube.
Thank you, Lily. Colleagues will start in the next 2 minutes. We're just waiting for others to come through. Thank you.
Okay, we're now live on YouTube.
Thank you, Lily. Colleagues will start in the next 2 minutes. We're just waiting for others to come through. Thank you.
Okay, we're now Is the moderator here?
Yes, I'm in. Hello.
Super. Zama, should we start?
Can you please start, Dr. Amit?
Thank you. So a very warm welcome to all the participants as we join this webinar on creative tourism in BRICS plus countries, developing a collaborative research agenda. So we have four very... Hello, am I audible? So we have four speakers today.
Yes, Doc, you are audible.
And yes, and this event is organized by the Durban University of Technology, the BRICS Research Institute, the National Institute for the Humanities and Social Sciences, the South African BRICS think tank, and TV BRICS International Media Networks. So thanks to Professor Reshma, Fulufulu Netswara, Sneh, and Fani for putting this together. So as I mentioned, we have four speakers, and the topics are on creative tourism by Dr. Arun Agarwal. Second is by Dr. Lesedi Nduna from South Africa. This is on South Africa's agricultural heritage potential through agritourism, creative roots. The third speaker, Professor Douglas de Souza Rodrigues, is from Brazil, and reframing tourism productivity. That is the topic, share indicators for a collaborative BRICS plus agenda. The fourth speaker of the day is from Indonesia, Dr. Uhusu, I'm sorry if I have the pronunciations wrong. Revitalizing traditional textiles, a key to economic growth, identity, and conservation in the creative industry. So we have 15 minutes allocated to each of the speakers, and after this we'll have 15 to 20 minutes for discussion with the audience, and then we have the closing remarks. So before we start with the first speaker, Dr. Arun Agarwal, who's from India, I would like to briefly introduce him. Dr. Arun, are you here?
Yes, sir.
So Dr. Arun Agarwal is an associate professor at Chitkara University, India. He specializes in human resource management, organization behavior, and tourism studies. He holds a PhD in management and he has supervised multiple doctoral theses on topics including creative tourism experiences, employee engagement, and consumer behavior. Dr. Agarwal, he has published extensively in high impact journals such as the International Journal of Hospitality, Management, and Tourism Review. He also serves as a senior editor for Global Business and Organizational Excellence Wiley, and he guest edits several special issues. His research area encompasses advanced quantitative methods, including SEM, multi criteria decision making approaches. He is a very popular invited speaker and resource person in India. I've attended several of his sessions earlier. So I think we can start with Dr. Agarwal. And before we start with him, I would like to wish all of you a happy Independence Day. Today is the 79th Independence Day of India. So it's a holiday in India. And I'm happy that we have all the speakers from the global south. I think in fact, currently, we're all facing almost the same challenges in terms of what's going on in the world. We all know about that. So over to you, Dr. Arun Agarwal. We can start with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Mittal, for very generous introduction. And I would like to share my PPT. I hope my screen is visible. My PPT is visible to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
it
visible.
is.
So the topic given to me is on creative tourism, a research agenda. So presently I'm working as an associate professor at Chitkara Business School, Chitkara University, Punjab, India. Apart from that, like Dr. Mittal has mentioned, that I'm also serving as senior editor for Global Business and Organizational Excellence by Wiley, and I'm also the associate editor for Journal of Technology Management for Growing Economies, published by Chitkara University. So, when we talk about the tourism is a powerful drive of economic, social, and cultural development, influencing not only the financial and environmental dimensions, but also the mental and social well-being of communities. According to United Nations World Tourism Organization, tourism stimulates growth through job creation, increased export earning, and infrastructure development. Despite facing crises, the industry has demonstrated remarkable resilience, as it can be seen in the post-pandemic recovery. By 2022 only, international arrivals nearly returned to pre-COVID-19 level, and it contribute to the 7.6 to the global GDP and create 22 million new jobs. At the same time, the tourist motifs of tourists are also evolving. So travelers are increasingly seeing immersive hand-on experiences rather than passive sightseeing. This shift has propelled the growth of creative tourism, a niche within the cultural tourism, where visitors engaged in activities such as learning local craft, looking traditional dishes, participated in storytelling related to culture, heritage, or gastronomy. By fostering authentic connection between the visitor and host communities, creative tourism enhances cultural exchange, sport sustainability, and align with the broader experience of economy, offering a meaningful alternative to mass tourism. So, when we talk about the creative tourism, there is a many misconception that whether it is a part of heritage tourism or cultural tourism. So, if you talk about the creative tourism not only talk about the past, present, but it also talks about the future also. And the primary focus of consumption is on the experiences which are active in nature rather than passive in nature. And if we talk about the evolution of creative tourism, creative tourism is not a very new concept, and it has evolved over the period of time. So creative tourism has undergone several development. Creative tourism 1, 2, 3, and presently it is creative tourism 4. The initial creative tourism emerges in 1990s as an extension of cultural tourism, focuses on hands-on and immersive learning experiences related to art and heritage. The second phase, which is creative tourism 2, saw a formalization and expansion from 2000 to 2010, supported by academic research and policy initiative by organizations like UNESCO. Creative Tourism 3, which spans from 2010 to 2020, it embraces the integration of digital technologies, enhancing the global reach and appeal of creative tourism through digital platform and social media. The most recent phase, which is Creative Tourism 4, emphasizes on sustainability and active participation of local communities in the development of tourism experiences that supports their well-being and local ecosystem. This stage also considers the resilience of creative tourism to challenges like global pandemic, highlighting the importance of local engagement and sustainable practices in tourism development. And if we talk about the gaps which are prevailing in the creative tourism, so in order to identify the gaps, we have conducted a bibliometric analysis, and from bibliometric analysis, it is reflected that although creative tourism has gained scholarly attention over the past 2 decades, the existing literature remains fragmented with little effort to systematically synthesize global research outcome. Much of the work to date is grounded in qualitative case studies, often focused on individual destination, leaving a gap in large-scale data-driven analysis that can provide a comprehensive picture of the field. Research from emerging economies is notably underpresent, and cross-cultural comparison studies are scarce. Further, there has been limited integration of interdisciplinary perspectives, such as those from sociology, urban studies, and sustainability sciences, which could enrich the understanding of creative tourism dynamics. These gaps underscore the need to explore how themes in creative tourism has evolved, identify the most influential contributors, and map the collaborative nature which shape the future discourse in creative tourism. So next is that why there was a need to have a bibliometric analysis. So in order to provide a systematic quantitative overview of the research so that the overall output of creative tourism can be tapped and future trends and patterns can be identified. Further, to identify which are the core journals and which are the main influencing authors or the leading institution which are publishing in creative tourism, so that the future researcher can target those journals, or maybe they can collaborate with the authors for a better outreach. Further, mapping the emerging themes, that what are the future emerging themes and which can shape the future research agenda for creative tourism. Finally, highlighted to highlight the collaborative network and international research interlinkages. And finally, to have some kind of empirical analysis on creative tourism. So if you read, majority of the creative tourism research is on the supply side of the provider rather than from the tourist perspective. So there is a gap which need to be catered by doing some empirical studies. And if we talk about the bibliometric analysis can be segregated into two parts. One is performance analysis, and second is science mapping. So under performance analysis, we talk about the which are the most influencing publication, which are the most influencing contributor in terms of articles, reviews, countries, institutions, journals, and authors. And if we talk about the science mapping gives you the future research agenda, that how the creative tourism has evolved over the time, and what are the future trends which are emerging, and how the future researcher can use this information for their future research projects. In order to do this, we conducted a bibliometric analysis by using the Scopus database, and to identify the relevant literature. These are the keywords which we use on Scopus database, and the initial result gave us 951 records, including all kind of journals, editorials, and review papers. So different inclusion and exclusion criteria were there. Like for example, in our case, we use only articles and review which are published in English languages, and which are published in journals only. So which limit the initial search to 449 articles. Further, these articles were read by our team, and based on that, the irrelevant papers which are not aligning with the research objectives were eliminated, and based on that 304 items were deleted, and finally the bibliometric analysis were conducted on 198 records. So this is the global spread on creative tourism, which shows that majority of creative tourism work is conducted in the European context. So if you talk about the performance analysis of creative tourism research, so the bibliometric analysis shows that there is a roughly around 14% of annual growth in terms of the publications, year-wise publication. And out of 198 records, there were 104 journals which published on creative tourism, and there were 422 authors which contributed to the field of creative tourism. And if you look at the international collaboration, around 25% of the publication had international collaboration, which shows that that 1/4 of the publications are being conducted in a collaborative manner. So the key takeaway is that creative tourism thrive on both collaborative networks and individual contribution, transcending cultural and geographical boundaries. So this is the year-wise publication trend. So as you can see that as per our search, the first paper which was published on creative tourism was in 1998, and you can see that from 1998 till 2010 or 11, there is a marginal growth. Only 1 or 2 publications are there, and from 2010 till 2018, there is a slight surge in the publication, but still the number of publications were less. But in 2019, there is a sudden surge in the creative tourism research, and you can see from 2019 till 2024, there has been a good amount of publication which is being conducted in creative tourism research, and till March 2025, there are 6 publications which is being conducted in creative tourism research.
Dr. Arun, you have 4 minutes to wind up, please.
Okay. So these are the top publications, and if you can see the concept of creative tourism was given by Greg Richard, and Greg Richard has the highest global citation, and it has also the highest average citation. And in terms of the journals, current issue is tourism is leading, and in terms of country, Portugal is leading. And if you talk about the science map in our study, we have conducted science mapping in three parts through first foundational knowledge of creative tourism through co-citation analysis and bibliographic coupling, thematic evolution of creative tourism research, and future casting of creative tourism research. So this is the pictorial presentation of our co-citation network and co-occurrence of networks. And here you can see that the results shows that there are three clusters which are based on the co-citation. One is digital and experiential foundation. Second is urban and rural context. Third is conceptual and theoretical advancement. So the based on this, there were four keyword cluster, which is authenticity and creative experiences, cultural and heritage integration, urban rural creativity, creative tourism dynamics, co-creation practice in tourism. So next, this is the pictorial presentation of bibliographic coupling cluster, and based on bibliographic coupling, there were four clusters which were emerged, which is authenticity, co-creation, culture, and urban and rural context. And if you see the thematic evolution, if you see the if you remember the annual growth, so based on that, there are two segregation. One is from 1998 to 2007, then 2009 to 17, and from 18 to 2025. And for future casting, these are the two panel. With one is thematic trend of creative tourism research, and second is topical trend of creative tourism research. And based on this, we have segregated the future casting of creative tourism in four themes: basic, motor, niche, and emerging themes. So basic are which is high importance but low developed. Motor themes are high importance with high development. Niche are low importance with high development, and emerging are low importance with low developments. So, so my concluding remark is that tourism play a vital role in social economic development, and this study advances our understanding of creative tourism through a bibliometric analysis of 198 studies. The finding map the evolution of creative tourism from cultural tourism to multifaceted domain centered on authenticity, co-creation, sustainability, and technological integration. The analysis highlighted key theme trends, which are authentic experiences, cultural heritage, urban and rural context, and offer a future research roadmap including AI, extended reality, multisensory design, community-based strategies, and cross-border collaboration. For manager, the study offers actionable strategies to design immersive, culturally grounded, and participatory tourism products. While for policymaker, it underscores the need for robust framework that safeguard authenticity, foster innovation, and promote sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Agarwal. So in fact, I'm glad you brought up this bibliometric analysis presentation, which I believe should be the first manuscript that any researcher should write, especially at the doctoral level. I was wondering, is this from a paper that has already been published, or is it still a working paper?
This paper has been published in benchmarking by Emerald. So it is a B category journal, and it is
so
open.
You can share the link with us so that we can share with the audience. They can read the complete manuscript.
Definitely, I'll share the PDF in the chat box.
Thank you so much, Dr. Agarwal. So I would now move on to the next speaker, Dr. Lesedi Nduna. Are you here, Dr. Nduna?
Yes, I am here.
Okay. A very warm welcome to you, and thank you
Thank you.
for being a part of this webinar. So, the topic Dr. Nduna will be sharing is South Africa's agricultural heritage potential through agritourism, creative roots. So, before she starts, I would like to read out her introduction. So, she's a lecturer, researcher, a sustainable tourism advocate, a speaker, moderator, and a mentor. Um, she's a sustainable tourism development lecturer at UNISA with more than 10 years of experience, a guiding teacher for the Tourism Hackathon G20 Challenge 2025. She holds a PhD in tourism management with a focus on agri-tourism and sustainability. She researches extensively on sustainable tourism, strategic marketing, agri-tourism, and women in agri-tourism. An expert in sustainable tourism, strategic marketing, and agri-tourism. And she's passionate about youth empowerment, sustainable tourism, agri-tourism, women empowerment, and inclusive tourism. She's also involved in community-based projects in tourism entrepreneurship and tourism capacity building. So it's a very relevant topic that you've chosen for the day, and we're very keen to hear what you have to say, share with all of us. And before you start, I would request everyone to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I went there, I saw it's live. I was the only person who um, liked that particular live thing right now. So I think I requested Sneh to share the link with you. That is BRICS Research Institute on YouTube, and please subscribe the channel, everyone. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you so much. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, it's visible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, good day, everyone. And as already been mentioned, my name is Dr. Lesedi Nduna, and today we'll explore how South Africa's agricultural heritage can grow into a creative tourism experiences by exploring agritourism as an alternative. What do we mean agritourism? It is not just a trend, but rather a thriving opportunity for sustainable development, economic growth, as well as women empowerment. Defined as a form of tourism involving farms used either for leisure, recreation, or educational activities. Its market size has been estimated to be around 73.2 billion in 2025 and projected to be around 205 billion by 2033. Why should we really be considering investing in agritourism? It's because it offers farmers an opportunity to tap into new revenue streams by adding value to their products through tourism experiences. It is also a way of promoting local culture, whereby travelers can immerse themselves into local culture and gain hands-on experience, and also promote sustainable development by preserving the environment and empowering local communities. This type of initiative further on, it has been found that it offers women an opportunity for empowerment and advancement within the sector. Agritourism initiatives are being viewed as an important diversification strategy for agricultural entrepreneurs because it has the potential to contribute to development of the rural economy. It can provide additional revenue streams, as already been mentioned, and also it provides a platform for farmers to educate the public about farming practices, the source of their food, and the importance of agriculture. It really leverages to expand women's capabilities and potential, highlighting the importance of addressing gender inequalities, promoting women's empowerment and leadership, and recognizing the diverse needs and preferences through participation in agritourism initiatives. When we talk about creative tourism, there are a bit of similarities between agritourism and creative tourism. Why do I say so? Because creative tourism as well, it involves co-creation. It involves active participation, co-creation, and cultural immersion. It has evolved as a diversification strategy as well that seeks to incorporate local traditions into a broad range of travel aspects. Therefore, it's a catalyst for local value-added offerings, destination innovations, and as well as sustainable development. It is in nature not passive, but rather it really wants one to roll up their sleeves and participate and take a story home. Agritourism is a perfect stage for this in South Africa. Why is this topic important, especially for the BRICS country? It's because our BRICS nations share a fertile ground, literally and figuratively. Together, we can pioneer rural creative tourism by developing agritourism to boost livelihoods while preserving heritage. Rooted in indigenous knowledge, South Africa's agricultural heritage came across as something that can be curated into an experience around these key, the knowledge about the farm, the diverse migrant influences. I believe that every farm has a story. And it is during our study that we found that through that story, it can be curated and monetized to offer tourists an experience that they will never forget while being sustainable. How do we start and where do we start with regards to agritourism? First of all, when you look at the literature of agritourism, it only started picking around 2015 and already gaining a momentum in the 2025. What do you need to do when you develop a product? It's important that first of all, you understand who is the product for. We undertook a study where we looked into the potential agri-tourists and who will the market be and what will be the motivation to visit a farm. We found that the scenery and escape from the city was one of the most important key factors, and as well as the local cuisine. They wanted to know where the food comes from and to engage in the food from those areas. The attribute that mattered the most, colleagues, it was the interactive activities. Tourists did not want to just visit the farm and observe, but they wanted to be part of that, to co-create the experience, and as well as the cultural interpretation, the history of the land. There is a saying that says, if this is your land, what is your story? What is the story behind the agritourism experience that you're engaging in? The three clusters that have been identified, it was based on the agri-environmental literacy. We looked into agri-environmental literacy because it's one of the concepts that measures sustainability. It doesn't help that you draw these clusters to a farm, but they will not adhere to the sustainability or rather the framework of the farm. So it was important that we understand, are these people sustainable? And indeed, yes, we found that agri-tourists wanted to explore the farm in the most sustainable manner. They were conscious about what is being offered, and as well as they were very knowledgeable about the farm, which is a prudent market that can be explored. As already indicated, that high environmental literacy correlated with the willingness to pay for the eco-friendly farm experiences. Therefore, why not? Why can we not monetize this creative experience to ensure that farmers can diversify their income and plunge back into the core business, which is farming? Agri-tourists prefer farm demonstrating visible sustainability in everything that they do, from their operations and also in their harvesting. What is our collaborative research agenda or framework that we can look into with regards to the BRICS countries? We can perhaps consider looking into comparative agritourism models. We can also consider looking into creative tourism innovation in rural areas, the co-creation methods that can be implemented, the agri-heritage mapping, what is out there, what can be used immediately, and promoting rural tradition. And also the youth and women empowerment. Agritourism can be worked or developed as a pathway to rural entrepreneurship through youth programs and women programs. With regards to policy, first of all, it's important that we align what we're offering to our market. Therefore, it's important that the demand side or inside is presented. With previous literature, it was found that the majority of the studies were only conducting research based on agritourism producers why did they go into agritourism, what are the challenges for them, but rather to look into also the market to say what is it that they want, and can the sustainability and the agritourism be balanced in co-creating this type of tourism. We need to invest in the story-rich marketing, showcasing the agricultural heritage, develop training for farmers in creative tourism facilitation, and also support the BRICS knowledge exchange platforms for rural innovation. Well, the initial startup for farmers will be looking into the training programs from staff training, salaries, maintenance, marketing and promotion, as well as licensing and legal fees that will be required for one to start up their agritourism business. And this is what we presented to the suppliers to say, this is, if you were interested, these are the components that you need to look into. Now, in closing, agricultural heritage can be the creative root that nourishes our rural economies. It can preserve our culture and sustain our environment. I leave you with this question: how can we grow these creative roots together? Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. I think that was very crisp, and you finished in time. So is this a part of a paper that you've published already?
It's still a manuscript. We're about to just send it for editing and printing it, but it's from my PhD study. The results are from the PhD study we conducted on developing a model for agritourism, looking into agri-environmental literacy and the attributes of agritourism, as well as psychological capital.
Yeah, okay. I think this is a very relevant topic, especially as you mentioned that especially for the global south, specifically the BRICS countries, a majority of our population even now is engaged in agriculture. So agriculture is a very important sector for the countries in the global south. In fact, India is stuck on negotiations with the US because of India refusing to open its agriculture economy, and which is something that we do not want to budge. Okay, thank you so much. So
Thank you.
I will now move to the. So we'll take the question answer session is towards the end. So I will now move on to the next speaker, Professor Douglas de Souza Rodrigues from Brazil. Professor Douglas, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, Professor, depending on your time zone.
Here is good morning now.
Good morning. Okay, yeah, good. So the topic of the current speaker is reframing tourism productivity, shared indicators for a collaborative BRICS plus agenda. So before I request you to start, Dr. Douglas, I would just like to read out your profile. So Professor Douglas, he holds a BSc in production engineering, an MSc in materials engineering, and a PhD in production engineering. He's a tenured professor at the Federal Fluminense University. He teaches and conducts research in operations management, engineering, economics, innovation, marketing, and digital transformation. He coordinates the project Digital Health Tools for Mitigating Neglected Tropical Diseases, which integrates mHealth, IoT, artificial intelligence to monitor dengue, Zika, chikungunya in vulnerable territories. His current research includes developing alternative productivity indicators for BRICS countries that embed social responsibility and cultural value into traditional metrics. Dr. Rodrigues has published in indexed journals and contributed book chapters. He's a frequent speaker at international conferences on sustainability, leadership, digital transformation, and entrepreneurship. He's the founder of a startup that was in 2019 the finalist at the FAPERJ's Startup Rio program. He now mentors digital ventures and serves as an ad hoc reviewer for conference journals in production engineering. His work remains aligned with the UN SDGs and the 2030 agenda. So over to you, Professor Rodrigues.
I will start. I will try to share my screen.
Yeah,
Just
I
a
can. We
moment.
can. Your screen is visible. You mentioned the Durban Holocaust and Genocide Center. Is that yours?
Just a moment, please. Uh, my screen is appearing for you.
Yes, I can see that. Okay, yeah. We'll have to increase the size. I think that this is.
And now you see
Yes,
in full
yes, yes.
screen.
It's visible now, full screen.
So,
Thank you.
for me, good morning. For you is good afternoon. For I think. My name is Douglas Rodrigues. I am a professor from Federal Fluminense University in Brazil. Today, I will present the reframing tourism productivity shared indicators for collaborative in BRICS Plus agenda. Uh, I will show why current productivity measures are incomplete, and how we built new indicators and what we learned from 36 case pilot in Brazil, India, and South Africa. But this is a project that it's just starting by now. We will expand it for other BRICS plus countries. Uh, what's the problem? Tourism is still judged mainly by arrivals, hotels occupancy, and GDP share, for example. And these numbers capture just volume, not the value of these things. Each hides social costs, for example, ecological damage and cultural dilution. For BRICS Plus destinations, which is rich in heritage and biodiversity, this blind spot is critical. If we keep using narrow measures, we will reward the wrong practice and underinvest in creative community-based work. Uh, the objectives of this project, this is not a paper yet, this is a project, work in progress. The general objective is develop and validate new indicators on tourism productivity. Uh, and the specific is to analyze traditional metrics, develop innovative and alternative epistemological based metrics, integrate blockchain and influence marketing. On alternative epistemologies and the colonial critics, we have the Ubuntu that is mainly used to having in mind the individual and the community well-being. This is important to the Ubuntu culture. The buen vivir, nature, relationships, solidarity, economy, and interculturality is things that is used to be concerned in this philosophy. And Dharma, that we have moral duty, ethics, and responsibility. Now, imagine all of these concepts, all of these philosophies inside indicators for productivity in a creative tourism. Now imagine how this set of things can be addressed, the problem of we have in the mass market tourism, for example. And a question for you to keep in mind, what is the relevance of these perspectives to reassess tourism productivity? So we have the blockchain technology and tourism. What is the connection? Blockchain has potential in transparency and traceability of sustainable practice, and here I just bring you some examples of blockchain technologies and institute that is used to study transformation data in India. About influencer marketing in tourism, it has a potential to change perceptions and sustainable tourism behaviors. For example, I have three of one influencer marketing people that use to incentivize the sustainable marketing, sustainable tourism. What's the methodology of this project? We will perform a systematic review. So we will construct the indicators. We need to, and you are about to use secondary data or data to bring more to feed our indicators, and we think in do a comparative and international approach between G20 group and BRICS plus countries. So we have this problem and we have our answer to this problem. That is 5 multidimensional indicators. We have the Ecological Tourism Productivity Index, Relational Hospitality Scorecard, Tourism Well-being Index, Cultural Immersion Performance Matrix, and Time Autonomy and Leisure Quality Index. So, the first one measures environmental performance. The Relational Hospitality Scorecard captures the quality of relations between residents and visitors. The Tourism Well-being Index looks at psychological and community well-being. Cultural Immersion Performance Matrix measures depth of cultural engagement. And the Time Autonomy and Leisure Quality Index values unstructured, meaningful free time. And together, they form a balanced scorecard that goes beyond money counts. Here we have some variables for 3 of the 5 indicators. For example, in ETPI, we have share of protected natural area involved in the experience, renewable energy share usage in operations, solid waste diverted from landfill, water use efficiency, carbon emissions per visitor, and the RHS we have resident tourist interaction quality, resident satisfaction with tourism, local business ownership share, and fair wage compliance. And in CPM, we have density of creative or cultural events, visitor horse interaction depth, heritage site physical condition, and learning takeaway visitor self-report. We have the units or scales for each one of these variables and the probable main data source in the third column. For a preliminary study, we select the 35 cases for Brazil, India, and South Africa, each one with 6 creative tourism initiatives and 6 mass market tours. We made an approach. For example, the ecological index creative initiatives score 61.5 points versus 50 points for mass market tours, it means that has a 23% advantage. If we look for the other indexes, we have also the creative tourism is not just different in style, it performs better on the things we want to improve in the creative tourism. Here we have a SDG alignment heat map that shows the direct contributions appearing in dark blue, for example, ATPI links clearly to SDG 12.b and 14.7, RHS to SDG 8.9, and CIPM to SDG 11.4. The matrix flags gaps, for example, gender equity in some sites guiding future variable development, and the message that this brings to us is creative tourism advances the global goals more strongly than other volume drivers do. Well, thank you very much for your attention. And if you would like to keep in contact, here's my email.
Thank you, Professor Rodriguez. That was a very rigorous presentation based on a very rigorous research on the indicators of tourism productivity. So we can take questions later. So as we move to the next speaker, the final speaker for the day is Dr. Usep Suhud from Indonesia. Professor, are you here? I'll request Dr. Rodriguez if you could stop sharing, please.
Okay.
Dr. Usep, are you here with us? Dr. Usep, I believe that he's not joined. Okay, so I think we can now move on to the discussions and the comments of the participants. We have participants from across the world, and we've already had 3 presentations. So you could raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask any specific speaker that you would like to. So this is over to the audience now, to the participants, if they have any questions, because the theme of this webinar is a collaborative research agenda. So I think this is a very, yes, Mr. Elton, you have a question, I think. So the idea is to collaborate. I think you can seek to collaborate with any of the, amongst yourselves and with any of the speakers. So we don't have any questions? Yes, Andisa.
Thank you so much. I was only able to unmute myself now.
Yes, okay, I can see.
Now, I couldn't. Also, my phone was closed. I couldn't open it.
Okay.
Yes, I
So
think quite a number of us.
I couldn't put my question. The other thing is I couldn't put my, if you free the chat, I could put my question in the chat.
The chat box, yes. I will request the organizers to please provide access. If someone from the organizing team could provide access for the participants to write their question in the chat box. Anyway, so I think we already had someone who had a question, and I'd unmuted you. Could you please begin? And this one, Bogwe.
Oh, thank you very much. I've been unmuted. No, mine was to appreciate the session. It's very interesting. And I'm so pleased to meet Dr. Akarwal. I think I've cited some of the research work. So now here I am. I would like to collaborate. And I think also I work with CDFs. CDFs are masters and PhD candidates within the BRICS Research Institute that work across the BRICS theme. So as we do the collaboration, we always request our COPs, some of the speakers in each theme to collaborate with them. And in turn, they do the review of the collaboration papers. We say we group them in threes in a particular cohort where they write together. And then now the reviewer, who is the COP in this case, can be the fourth author in that particular paper or the third author in the particular paper. So there's a lot of work. Please don't be tired of us. We'll be knocking on your doors as we'll be embarking on that collaboration exercise with our CDFs. One, to build their capacity in research and also acquaint themselves with collaboration. What does it mean? The quality of the paper they produce. How far can they go in terms of just being able to pitch and do quality papers at the level that you are in? I'm learning a lot as I do the presentation. It's all interesting. Actually, each of them ended when I was still listening and got my face actually on the screen of my computer. Thank you very much. We really appreciate and we'll be in touch with the speakers so that we align our CDFs and our themes with their focus areas to build their capacity because that's the purpose of the capacity building fellows. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dr. Arun, would you like to comment on that? Because this was specifically, uh, she had specifically mentioned you. So would you like to respond to this?
Thank you,
And you
Professor.
have an author who has already cited your paper, so you should thank her for your increasing H index.
That's so kind of her. And yes, we can always collaborate. And my majorly research is on quantitative research, and my email ID is I can share my email ID, and we can always discuss the research projects and the future agendas which we can pursue. Yes, one major thing which generally I look for when we go for the collaboration is that the collaboration should be at the starting level rather than you have a paper or I have a paper and then I'll polish or you polish a research paper. Rather than it should be at the conceptual level so that we can think, conceptualize, and then start the research paper from the starting. So this is something which generally I take care when I collaborate, and of course I'm open for the collaboration.
In fact, I think the most difficult part of the navigating the review process is the conceptualization part, and that is where normally you get a desk reject because of it's usually because of lack of, or it's maybe poor conceptualization or lack of novelty.
Yes.
So in fact, by the time you reach a review and you have a revision, so I think polishing a paper then it just follows. So you would not need a collaborator then. So I agree with you, it would be in the beginning. So anybody else, you could just raise your hand and unmute you. I think since you can't do it yourself, you'll have to do it again, please. You can raise your hand. I'll unmute you, please. Anyone? I think I'll wait for a couple of minutes. So, would the speakers themselves want to have a um, conversation amongst themselves? And I think there's one person who has, yes, Abhishek Kumar. So let me allow, yes, I've allowed Mr. Abhishek Kumar. Yes, please, your question. Abhishek Kumar, I've unmuted you. But I can still, you will have to unmute yourself because I've unmuted you. I think somebody from the organizing team will have to help you over here because I cannot unmute everyone.
I think the colleagues need to unmute themselves. We have allowed them to unmute.
Yes, so anybody has a question, you could unmute yourself. That's what has been mentioned just now.
Thank you, Professor Mittal. This is Reshma Sutran here. I think, and thank you to the presenters for your very insightful presentations. I think there is a question on the chat. I'm not too sure if that has been covered.
Yes, I think this is from Professor Elton Fernandez, who has mentioned that, okay, I'll read it out. Tourism is increasingly playing a significant role in the global GDP, currently accounting for around 10%. With the advancement of AI, such as Industry 4.0, there is a significant progress in replacing human activity in production processes. How do you think this transformation in production processes will affect human participation in the tourism sector, such as the use of humanoid robots? So this, I think, is specifically for Professor Douglas, but I think anybody can respond after Professor Douglas responds to this question.
Okay, I think we have two explanations or two things to keep in mind for that. In one hand, we have the digital transformation, the artificial intelligence helping people to know what kind of what to do with visit a country or how to behavior when you visit another country, but I think it's not replacing people, but maybe helping. On the other hand, I think that maybe if the metaverse is too much has an evolution too much large, I think that it can be maybe a problem by the people not going out from home and visiting places virtually, just virtually. So I think we have these two kinds of things to keep in mind.
Okay, so I hope Dr. Douglas responded to your question satisfactorily. Professor Elton Fernandez is from the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Over to Dr. Nduna. Dr. Nduna, since you've also heard the other two presenters, so what is your take on the research that they spoke on? About especially Dr. Rodriguez, he spoke on tourism productivity indicators, and Dr. Arun Agarwal in creative tourism. And how do you think these three areas could perhaps, they could align together with your research?
Thank you so much. Definitely, especially from the creative tourism point of view. It's a niche tourism, and agritourism, it's also a niche type of tourism, as I've already experienced. And just to add on into the previous question, I just wanted to add on to say that, tourism, we still need a human touch in this industry. And yes, the technological advances can assist in actually improving on our services, but with regards to the foregoing of the human touch, I don't think it's anything that we'll see just disappearing anytime soon, particularly in your rural tourism, in the niche type of tourism. You still want to experience that human touch. With regards to the previous speakers and their research, there's a lot of alignment that perhaps we can consider from the perspective of how do we now come up with some sort of a framework to develop these type of offerings, for domestic markets, more especially, that they get to experience their own tourism in their countries and to effectively to do so. So there's a lot of potential that we can look into. Thank you.
Okay. In fact, you're right. Despite this, like in India, post-COVID, we've seen that during COVID, obviously, the tourism hospitality sector, it took the biggest hit in terms of numbers. Most people were, a lot of hotels and tourism spots were shut down altogether, or they were partially open. And after COVID, in fact, the numbers have still not picked up, despite the growth is back to pre-COVID levels. I'm talking about India or South Asia, but the number of people joining the tourism and the hospitality sector is still not kept pace with what it was pre-COVID. So there is a challenge. Technology is one of the factors, and I think employers have found ways of doing the same set of functions with maybe fewer people. So that is how it is shaping up. Now, this is a little out of the box, but I was wondering, because most of the speakers are from, in fact, including Dr. Usep, who is not here, everybody is from the global south. But as an Indian, it's easier for us to travel to the Western countries, Europe, or even US. But connectivity is very poor in the global south. For example, going to Brazil from India is so difficult. It is like 48 hours. Traveling to South Africa is so difficult. So any suggestions from the three of you collectively or individually? How can we increase connectivity within the BRICS countries? In fact, this is not only for the three of you. I would also request the organizing team, Professor Reshma, anybody could respond. I think this is something that, because, we're talking on collaborative research, but collaborative research will follow when we collaborate and meet each other, especially on-site, offline. So how do I reach Brazil and meet Professor Rodrigues? It's so difficult, it's so expensive, and it's so time-consuming. But we belong to one BRICS, a group of countries, which we call, together it's a cluster. But geographically, it's not a cluster.
Exactly.
Thank you. Sorry. Please go ahead, Dr.
You may proceed. It's fine.
Okay. So it's a very good and a very important question. I'm going to hand that question over to Prof. Fernandez and Prof. Rodrigues, because they have been doing a lot of research on air connectivity in the global south. So I would think at this point they would be in the best position to give us some sort of feedback on your question. Thank you.
Okay. Can you please repeat the question?
Professor, we're talking about connectivity. How do tourists travel from India or South Africa to Brazil, and from Brazil to the other BRICS countries? So though we're talking about BRICS as one cluster of countries coming together, but from a practical standpoint, it's so difficult. It's easier to go to Europe, or easier to go to the US or Canada, right? But so difficult to go to South America or the southern part of Africa. I'm talking about, for example, from India. So
Mm.
how do we resolve this? Is there any solution that you have in mind, apart from
Uh,
obviously government subsidies or maybe a BRICS subsidy to travelers going to BRICS countries?
I think Professor Otto Fernandes wants to answer this question.
So
Can
You
Dr.
can
you?
Preet
unmute
Singh says that
Prof.
building air connectivity between countries of the global south requires addressing economic, political,
Yeah.
infrastructure, and market barriers. Yes?
Uh, I think the phone is open now. Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Yes.
you're audible. You're audible.
Yeah,
Professor Fernandez, you're
I'm
audible.
audible. Okay, okay. Uh, we have a lot of research in this area. Uh, if you are curious, we have a paper in transport policy, which is now available, about the Global South Air Transport Belt. It is an idea. We published this paper last year, but is available in this journal, Transport Policy, the Global South Air Transport Belt, where we show this difficult we you were talking about, the difficult of the connection between the Global South countries. Most of the connections are between the global south and the global north, and not really inside the global south countries. And this makes us very fragile if the European and the North American companies they start sanctions about the global south. You see, because we do not have a good connection between us. And this paper is just about that, the global south transport belt. What we did an assessment of the disconnection and as you mentioned, there is few people from China, from India that comes to Brazil. Although Brazil, the major commercial partner of Brazil is China, we do not have a real people-to-people exchange and cultural integration between Brazil and China. This happened between Brazil and India as well. And although we have a large population in Brazil from Africa, we don't have a so good cultural relation, né, between and the movement between people from Brazil and Africa. We are studying this problem, and what I think that we have to start this connection. Tourist companies they do not invest in that. We need to show the tourism sector that they have to invest in this connection, and also they have the connections promoted by our air companies. Why the Indian air company they don't fly direct to Brazil? Why the Chinese companies they don't fly direct to Brazil or to connect uh, the South America to Africa to India? We have Ethiopian Airlines now flying from Ethiopia to Brazil, but we need to improve a lot that because the lobby from the European countries and the North American countries is very strong, and our tourist sector, they are not investing enough for promoting our cultural integration. That's what I think we have to improve research in this area. People to
Right.
people
Yeah.
exchange between the inside the global south, between countries from the global south. It's very weak nowadays. The
Yes. Thank you, Professor
investment
Fernandez. Your
habit.
point is well
Okay.
taken. Agreed. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you
thank you
for
so much.
the
In fact, I think it's a
opportunity.
it's a collective responsibility, and yes, the economics does play a role. But then, when you have more flights and more connectivity, the costs also come down. And I think BRICS countries amongst themselves are very weak in promoting tourism within the BRICS countries, which is, I mean, I've never seen Visit Brazil or Brazil tourism being promoted in India. You will find European countries and North American countries promoting, but not Brazil or not South Africa, China, no. So I think this is something that needs to be resolved. We have a question in the chat box by to Lele. Given the shift towards active and culturally immersive experiences in tourism, how might the evolution of creative tourism research, as revealed through a bibliometric analysis, I think this is more for Dr. Arun Agarwal, influence the design of tourism policies and practices that balance local culture preservation with global visitor demand? I think this is also important given the push back that we've seen against over tourism. You know, we're looking at we have a situation of over tourism in some European countries. Thailand recently, there was one island that was shut altogether for 15 years. So for the local ecosystem to recover. So how do you balance local culture preservation with global visitor demand? So you need more visitors from an economic and social standpoint. At the same time, you need to balance it with the local culture preservation. So you could respond, or any of the speakers, please.
So, our bibliometric analysis, as far as our research, so bibliometric analysis of creative tourism research clearly shows that there is a shift of the tourist from passive to active participation and towards experiential, participatory, and community-driven models. So, when we talk about the how we can navigate, frame the policies for tourism, that then in that context, it means that shift from mass and standardized offering to a more local community in which we can have co-creation from the locals and from the tourists, so that it ensures the fair benefit both for the tourists and for the locals also. And from a practical standpoint of view, it encourages designing experiences that are authentic, yet those are adaptable, using global demand to support, rather than it dilute the basic essence of the culture and heritage of that particular site. So, at the same time, we have to maintain the authenticity, but also we have to cater the sustainability aspect and the local involvement, so that all the stakeholders of that particular destinations get benefit, with a base it also have a sustainability aspect also. So this is my takeaway on your question.
Okay, yes. And then we thank you so much, Dr. Arun. And we have, it's not a question, I think these are remarks by Dr. Amrik Singh Thakur. Unless there is no business viability, there is no possibility of, to strengthen the same. And he's alluding to the recent tariff war, and also mentioning that there are new opportunities. Yes, I mean, India and Brazil know the best because we are the highest tariffed nations in the world right now. And he also says that we're not only BRICS, but we're also in G20. Yes, we are in G20s. So, but then yes, BRICS is something that, we're together in this birds of a feather. Okay. Um, I would now request the three speakers to give their closing remarks in 1 minute each, please. We'll start with the same sequence. Dr. Arun Agarwal, a minute to you, followed by Dr. Duna, and then followed by Dr. Rodriguez. 1 minute each.
Thank you, Professor Mittal. So, a very well organized webinar and well coordinated by Dr. Mittal and the organizing team. And I had an opportunity to interact with my fellow speakers and the participant, and I had also the opportunity where I can also collaborate for my future research. So I look forward for such enriching webinars and research collaboration further. Thank you so much.
Dr. Nduna?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Indeed, as well, it's very important that we always have this engagement to try and find out where are we, what is the narrative, what's on the ground with regards to our research, in order for us to conduct research that is meaningful, and we know that it addresses the challenges that we are facing as countries within the BRICS. So I'm very grateful that I was part of this team and I got to hear what my colleagues are busy with and things that I can look into. So to many more future engagements such as this, and to collaborative engagement and opportunities. Thank you very much.
Okay. I would like to thank you for the opportunity, and says that the data I showed today can show us that creative tourism is not a niche luxury. It's a measurable path to healthier ecosystems, to stronger communities, and richer cultural life without sacrificing economic returns. So I would like to bring you and ask for collaborations if you would mind to. And thank you very much.
So you have the contact details, the coordinates of all the three speakers, and so the agenda is collaborative research. So we'll be happy if we could have a few collaborative research papers, projects from here, funded project research papers, maybe a book, or maybe a conference or any other webinar. So thanks to all of you. And I would like to especially thank the organizing team, the project staff at the BRICS Research Institute led by Professor Fulu, and the project staff, Zamazawe, Luciologos, Ifani, and Lily Pratt. And a special thanks to the team at the Community of Practice on Tourism and Cultural Exchange led by Professor Reshma and Sneh. So as you would know that the COP on tourism and cultural exchange, it aligns and supports, as you can see, 3 SDG goals and the third BRICS pillar, that is culture and people-to-people exchange. So I think this was a very fruitful discussion. And if you have any feedback, you could share the feedback with the organizing team. And I would also now request everyone to please, you can turn on your camera so that we can have a group photograph.
Colleagues, please turn on your camera just for a few seconds, and then Sneh will take us a picture. And Lily, can you please also give us a screenshot if you can? Just for a few minutes, colleagues. Thank you. Lily, please tell me if you are winning. Sneh, please tell me if you are winning with the photo.
All right, Zama, just a second. Prof. Reshma, your camera is off.
To open mine.
We can't seem to open our camera for some reason. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm trying to turn it on. Is it anyone else?
Doesn't.
I can't see anyone.
I can
see
Professor Nonjieza on. Okay, let's try again. Let's see.
I think it's just the four of us who have the cameras on.
Yeah, we trying on our side. It seems to be
Even now.
Now my camera's disabled, but when it is enabled, okay, I can see something coming up.
All right, it's fine now.
We briefly had Andeswa, like for a second or so.
Yeah, it did come on for a second and went.
Okay, let's try again, Sneh.
All right, how is it now? It should be okay for everyone.
Okay, yeah.
We can see you, Professor Reshma now.
Yes.
All right, I'm taking pictures.
Okay, I can see some of the colleagues. Just a few small colleagues, and then.
We're waiting for you to say cheese.
Okay. Lily, are you able to screen grab Sneh? Okay.
Yes, I'm almost done on my side. Maybe we can just give you Lily a second, but I'm done on my side. Thank you so much, Sim.
Okay, I think it's okay. Before.
We have another one. Dr. Singh, Amrik Singh joined, Lily joined. I think you'll have to take another one.
All right. All right, we are done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some of us can't smile, we just laugh.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, people.
Colleagues.